Hey everyone, welcome. So, today we're tackling a topic that is just absolutely surrounded by confusion, fear, and quite frankly, a whole lot of bad information. We're talking about reverse mortgages. I'm putting on my mortgage advisor hat for this explainer because, let's be real, we need to cut right through the industry noise and get to the actual reality of how a home equity conversion mortgage, or a HEC-M, truly works. If you've spent literally any time reading online comments about this, you know that a lot of industry folks just aren't giving out the right info. Well, we're going to change that right now.
Right out of the gate, let's establish exactly who this is for. The magic number here, 62. If you're a homeowner, 62 or older, and you've got a solid chunk of equity built up in your home, this is for you. But, and this is absolutely crucial, this explainer is also designed for the heirs. We're talking to the adult children who are sitting down, helping mom and dad plan their estates and secure their future. Honestly, I highly recommend families watch this one together.
Okay, so here's our roadmap for today. We're going to cover 1. The misinformation problem, 2. Ownership and spouse myths, 3. Heirs and estate myths, 4. Financial and usage myths, 5. Professional guidance, and finally, 6. Next steps. Quick and easy.
Let's dive right into Section 1, the misinformation problem, correcting the industry. Time to address the elephant in the room.
Look, here is the absolute core truth we need to start with. A reverse mortgage can be a seriously powerful tool for your retirement goals, but it's not a magic wand for everyone. It just isn't. When families are working off of bad info, they either make poor financial choices or, worse, they completely miss out on a strategy that could have been a total game changer for their retirement. Understanding exactly what this tool is, and just as importantly, what it isn't, is the very foundation of smart estate planning. All right, moving right along to Section 2, Ownership and Spouse Myths, Fears of Loss. Now this is the big one. Will the bank take my house if I live too long? It's a heavy, emotionally charged question, right? And honestly, it is completely valid to feel fiercely protective of the home you've literally worked your entire life to pay for. So, let's look at the facts and clear the air.
Let's break down the top 3 industry misunderstandings. First up, the idea that the bank owns your house. No way. In reality, you retain full ownership, period. Second, the fear of losing your home if you live too long. Actually, reverse mortgage is designed specifically so you can stay in your home for life, as long as you keep paying your property taxes and insurance. And finally, the dread that your spouse will be kicked out if you pass away. Let me assure you, there are strict, built-in protections specifically to prevent that from happening. That whole fear of immediate displacement, it's just a myth.
Which brings us to Section 3, Heirs and Estate Myths, the Inheritance.
Now, I really want to shift our focus to the adult children for a minute, because this is the ultimate question when it comes to the long-term impact on the estate. Will a reverse mortgage leave nothing for my kids? When families sit around the kitchen table to talk about this is the exact fear that stops the conversation cold. Kids are terrified their parents are just signing away the entire family legacy.
So let's fix 2 major misunderstandings that really scare heirs. First, the myth that absolutely nothing is left for the kids. Listen, you are only accessing a portion of your home's equity. That means a chunk of equity can and often does remain in the estate. Second, and this is a huge one that changes everything, is the myth that the loan balance can somehow exceed what the house is actually worth. Because these are non-recourse loans insured by the FHA, you or your heirs will literally never owe more than the value of the home when it's sold. The insurance covers any difference. It's a massive safety net.
Okay, moving into Section 4, Financial and Usage Myths, Utility and Impact.
So how does the money actually work day to day? Seniors often stress that this will mess up their government benefits. The reality? Your Social Security and Medicare are generally totally untouched. There's also this weird rumor that you're forced to take the money in one giant lump sum. Not true. You actually have incredibly flexible payout options. As for the fees, yeah, they exist, but looking at them in a vacuum completely ignores how the math aligns with your long-term cash flow. Oh, and one massive rule to remember, you absolutely cannot use these funds to buy a vacation home or an investment property. This is strictly for your primary residence.
And that brings us to an overarching stigma we really need to smash today. The idea that a reverse mortgage is just a last resort for desperate people. When you take a step back and look at the actual facts, it's quite the opposite. For a lot of families, it's a highly strategic, proactive tool used to maximize cash flow and comfortably manage retirement. Seriously, it's about smart planning, not desperation.
Which brings us perfectly to Section 5, Professional Guidance, the value of a trusted advisor.
Look, because these decisions impact whole families and complex estates, you really need a certified, incredibly transparent professional in your corner. When you've got this much industry noise, patient guidance isn't just a nice-to-have, it's absolutely mandatory. Take client Jessica Clayton, for example. She worked with certified mortgage advisor Memo Zazueta and noted that he went above and beyond to answer every single question, walking them through each and every step.
And you know what truly matters for the adult children? Honesty about the downsides. Another client, Maria Conchita Ceja, pointed out that a true professional will specifically discuss potential risks and worst-case scenarios, really explaining the long-term impact on the estate. You don't need a fast-talking salesperson. You need an advisor who will sit at the table and honestly evaluate those tough what-if scenarios with your family.
Because let's face it, making decisions about a family home you've had for 30 or 40 years, it's incredibly stressful. That's exactly why working with someone described by clients like Cliff Rodriguez as calm, reassuring, and honest makes all the difference in the world. Having an empathetic expert turns a stressful family guessing game into a confident, solid financial strategy.
All right, let's wrap things up with Section 6, Next Steps, Booking Your Consultation.
We've separated the myths from the reality, so let's build a practical, actionable plan for your family. Step 1. Seniors, sit down and review these facts with your kids. And heirs, review them with your parents. You've got to get on the same page. Step 2. Jot down your specific questions regarding your unique estate and inheritance goals. Step 3. Schedule a private consultation to get those very specific questions answered by an expert.
And if you're looking for that expert, Memo Zazueta is a certified mortgage advisor with Nexa Mortgage. You'll see his NMLS ID is 177124, which means you are dealing with a licensed, credentialed, and trusted industry authority who knows exactly how to navigate these complex family conversations safely.
So if you're ready for that private consultation, here is exactly how you can reach Memo directly. Feel free to call or shoot a text over to 707-477-9634. You can also email him at memosloans@gmail.com. Or, if it's easier, just use his online booking link to schedule a time that works best for you and your family to sit down and chat.
I want to leave you with one final kind of provocative thought to chew on. Are you letting industry myths dictate your family's financial future? Because now you know the truth. The bank doesn't take the house, you literally can't outlive the loan, and your heirs are completely protected from upside-down balances. Please don't let misinformation limit your retirement or your estate planning. Reach out to a professional, get the facts for your specific situation, and take control of your financial reality. Thank you so much for hanging out with me for this explainer, and happy planning!